Alright, in this video we're going to look at how to add temporary text into your design text boxes. Again, to sort of give your placeholder text a visual reason why they are there. So we're going to work on that and do that from the link that was provided inside of the Blackboard page for this exercise called placeholder text. So the web link for that page, I'm just going to go straight to the page and show you. Looks just like this. It opens up this page called loreipsum.net. This is basically a placeholder text generator web page. So it basically generates text that you can use to fill in a text box inside of your design. It uses Latin, sort of a dead form of language, for using that within. So the language doesn't necessarily have to make sense so much as it represents where text will go later in the design process. This is often used, especially in the design process, for getting design started right away, so that you kind of give your client an idea and yourself an idea of where you're going to put text in your design later. So on this page it gives you a lot of options. So right here it tells you the number of paragraphs that you can put in. So right now it says there are 5 listed. You can pick the paragraph length. So you can check short, medium, long, or very long. But short looks like this. So it's very, 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 very short. 5 paragraphs, and these are very tiny 2-sentence paragraphs, right? So if you're not looking for anything really bulky, this could be simple enough to do, of course, because all we're filling in on our page is these little areas of text. Now the paragraph spots are where I would recommend using this bulky text like this. So we don't need much. We really just need like 1 paragraph each in each of those, but we want them to be a good length. So I might pick like a long paragraph. Actually, let's do a medium paragraph. So we'll put in 1 paragraph, click on the medium radio button and hit generate. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to copy this. So you can do copy text to clipboard, use that button for that, and then switch back over to Illustrator. And what we're going to do is locate one of our text boxes. So notice as I move my mouse over the screen that for any invisible shapes that are options I've drawn or objects I've drawn, it flashes an outline for that shape on screen very quickly. So there's my paragraph 1 box. So I'm going to select it and double click inside of it. Actually, let's not do that. Let's not click inside of it. Let's just click it once to select it and grab our type tool and then click inside this box right around this first upper left corner inside the paragraph box. And that will activate the box. Now if we want to paste our text in, you can just use your paste command for your computer, and for Mac it's Command V for paste. And when I do Command V, there it puts in all of the text that I just got from that web page. So it copies it in. Now, funny thing, it does add like the little paragraph markers if you're used to these from, if you've ever seen these from web page HTML design. And that's okay for our purposes, it really doesn't matter, so long as we have filler text that shows inside the box. Okay, so we did it for that one. Deselect that box. Let's move over to our little skinny paragraph box in here. And again, grab your type tool, click inside the box and hit Command V. And go to our last box, use the type tool, click inside, hit Command V. And then other things we're going to do is we'll also fill in text in these other respective boxes for our titling. So where it says language, we're going to type this exact same thing. We'll use these symbols for greater than or less than, which are also operator code symbols, for putting in between here. So when you type inside these boxes, again, make sure you set the box you want to type on and start typing. Now it types very, very tiny. So if you don't want it to type that tiny, we do need to slightly modify the type size before we get going too far. So I'm just going to backspace over that and come up here to your top toolbar. With your type tool active on the toolbar, you have access to all your type tools. And I'm just going to go to where it says 12 point. That's the size of the type. And we're just going to up that to something a little more recognizable for this box, like 24. And it's not going to be much bigger, but it's big enough for us to read now. And we're just going to type this in pretty much just like it says it on screen. Language. All right. And now I'm going to go up to this other subtitle box right here for where it says there's power. Where there is power in language. Join the coding revolution. And again, if you don't like the size of it, you can just highlight all the text after you've typed it right there and go up here and change its respective size. And then I'm going to go down here and change this one to join the coding revolution. And I'm going to also upsize on that. Oop, too big. There we go. And it's really just enough to visually reference the imagery. It does not have to be perfect right now because there will be a later exercise where we deal with working with text very concisely for the sake of working through our design. So this is really, again, just an exercise in working with placeholder media. Now that we have all of this set in, you're pretty much done with the first exercise in the project of developing your placeholder shapes and establishing a sort of mock-up design of your work inside of Illustrator, just to start getting a feel for where tools are and those kinds of things that you'll be working with. Now, when all is said and done, always be sure to save your work. So again, we'll go to File, Save As. And you shouldn't have to change your name or anything for your project, but you do want to make sure that you save it with the rest of your work for the project. So if you have not set up a folder system for this project yet, you should have a very simple system. I'm just going to make one here on the fly. Make a new folder, call it Project 2. And inside of that, I'm going to have a few different folders that I want to have for this project. One of them is Docs or Documents. So that may be anything that you collect text-wise for the research for your project. Go back and make another one. And I'll call one Images. So that's for any reference images that you import into your document like we did today with our sketches and photographs. And then I'll add one more here for final. And that can be where you put your final work. You can even put, again, any turn-in files. And then one last one here for edits. So that's where you can put your incomplete work that you're still working on. And that's where we're going to save this, under Edits. And we want to save it in the Adobe Illustrator format. Remember, that is the native format for saving media inside of Adobe Illustrator directly. So make sure that you use that if you want to recover all of this information that you've been saving into the document up to this point. You don't want to use any of these other formats for that purpose, as they are all alternatives. So make sure you use the AI Adobe Illustrator format, save it, and you're good to go. Oh yeah, one last window. Illustrator will give you a pop-up that allows you to save your file with certain settings, like changing the version of Illustrator that you want to use it on. Sometimes this is handy if you want to open up an Illustrator document on an older copy to make it more compatible, but that's a very rare thing. It's not going to be something you would be doing, so I would just leave it on an Illustrator CC. There's nothing else we really need to change inside here for now. We're going to go ahead and say OK and save it. Alright, and the pinwheel will spin, and when it's done, now we've got a document saved. So that's all we're going to do for the first exercise in working through the Illustrator interface. So I hope you've picked up on a few things that are helpful and new to you in working in here. Again, explore as much as you like. We'll continue moving on through here in the next exercises with looking at different tools and options and panels inside the interface to help accomplish the design process for this project. All right? Again, if you have any questions, just give an email. And feel free to use the search or help tools inside of Illustrator for also looking for things that you may not understand or may have missed. And also check out the videos again. All right, take care, and I will see you again in the next exercise.